Welcome to the Coastal Compass tour of Sandals, Dunn's River. We're going to be showing you this entire brand new resort. It's so beautiful and I can't wait to share it with you. This tour is brought to you by Coastal Compass Travel Company. At Coastal Compass, we know that your number one need is to rest knowing that you booked the perfect trip. Unfortunately, there's a lot of resort and cruise options out there. That's why we've partnered with luxury brands like Sandals so that we can help you plan the perfect trip. So if you're trying to book a trip to one of these resorts or you just want to know that the whole thing is planned out perfectly, you can go to cctravelcompany.com, click Contact Us, and we will reach out to match you with the perfect vacation. So right here is where the bus will take you from the airport, and they will drop you off right at the front of the lobby. You'll see people ready for you. They'll have fresh towels. Sometimes they'll be singing, and they'll take your bags and get you escorted to check in and go to your room. It's a really cool first experience when you get to the resort. We'll start the tour on the other side of the front, kind of near the lobby. First up, you see the wedding lounge. This is where you're going to go. They have 4 different locations to plan weddings on the resort. So you go straight there. If you're planning a wedding during your stay, they will help you plan the entire experience. They do a really good job. We saw about 3 or 4 weddings while we were there. Next door is Island Routes. Now, Island Routes is going to plan all the excursions on the island, and they have a lot of things in Ochos Rios right around the corner. One of those is zip lining along the river and the jungle. We loved that experience. Another thing that they have right around the corner is climbing Blue Hole. So Blue Hole, you climb this river, and when you get to the top, there's several different spots where you can jump off into what they call Blue Hole. So it's really fun. You also have river tubing that you can do, which is just about 30-45 minutes away. That was a cool experience as well. And then you can't forget the iconic Dunn's River. This is the #1 excursion on the whole island. Just climbing that entire river was a really cool experience. So going on, right here you have the front of the lobby. It's all open, and yeah, it's just a really cool open air lobby. You can wait there while you're waiting for excursions, while you're waiting for your bus to take you home. But let's focus on the beginning of the journey. So these are where the bellhops will take your luggage. And it looks like there's a store right here. This is just some things that they sell in the store on the side, but they do have a good store that we'll get to in a minute. Coming up on the left is the concierge lounge. So if you booked a concierge level room, you get the concierge stuff. So it's a really cool lounge. When you first go in, that's the first stop you'll make when you get to the resort. They'll give you a tour of the whole resort. As you can see, they have a lot of cocktails and different drinks and coffee and snacks ready for you. They will check you in, get you squared away, go over anything for you. They also book all of your excursions. They'll book all your dining experiences for you. You don't have to worry about taking care of any of that. They'll also restock your liquor cabinet and your refrigerator every day. That was a really cool plus for us. So I recommend going with at least concierge level rooms. And then what we just showed you was the sales office. So right here you're seeing these steps with the waterfall. It's going to be on the left right when you enter the resort, and it's the first of 4 venues that you can choose for your wedding. They have some other things that happen up here. I think they refer to this one as the garden wedding. But if you are concierge level, one night they had a wine pairing where you could go and taste different foods, taste different types of wine together. And we met some other cool couples on this night. It's a great place to meet other couples who are just vacationing and having a good time. So as you walk around, if you're looking for a spot to have a wedding, you can picture walking in where everybody would sit, how you want everybody set up. And if you want to see all the wedding venues back to back, we have an upcoming video that's going to show that as well. So heading back to the lobby, we're going to go upstairs to check out Hanami. So Hanami is the first of the several restaurants we're going to look at. It is a sushi restaurant that is just open in the evenings, and they have a few other things than sushi. So if your spouse wants to check out sushi and you're not a fan, I totally get that. That was my position. But the food is amazing. My wife loved it. Heading back to the lobby, of course, you have the lobby desk. So if you're not concierge or butler level, they will get you registered and checked in and set up with anything you need. You have some bathrooms, a cool piano lounge, and a lot of times they'll do piano sing-alongs in the evening. If you head across to the other side of the lobby, you have what looks like several little storefronts. First up is the loyalty lounge, and they're going to help you book future trips. So if you're just loving your stay, you want to come, maybe get a small deal on a deposit for a future trip, those are the people to talk to. Next up, you have the resort shop. So even though you pack everything you can, if there's something you forgot, that's always the case. We forgot a bunch of sunscreen, so we stopped there to pick it up. And then you have Epics. That is where you can choose your photos. You get one complimentary photo shoot upon your stay, and then you'll see people taking photos all the time, every day around the whole resort, and you can pick whatever pictures you want to take home. On the right, you have the lobby bar, and then going out, we are going out into the main plaza, which is where most of the main restaurants are going to be connected. Now, my wife and I didn't spend a ton of time in the plaza, but there were a lot of cool events that we saw happening there. You have the welcome back party for those who are coming back for at least their second time. It's a complimentary dining experience one night. Also the silent disco party. This is only the second place I've ever seen something like this done. They had 2 DJs, you could switch back and forth. We hung out about an hour and danced the night away. It was really fun. And as you move to the left side of the plaza, you'll see the buffet over there on the corner. There's the plaza bar. And then you have 3 of the main nicer dining establishments on the resort. So the first one coming up here on the left is La Monde. That is going to be the classic French restaurant. So this is the one that you have to have a reservation for. This is the one that actually asks that you dress up for a little bit. It's a little bit finer dining than all the others, but this was one of our favorites, if not the favorite. So I would recommend the French onion soup. That was one of the best appetizers of the week that we were there. A lot of the restaurants have a specialty drink. The aphrodisiac was the drink of La Monde, and that was one of the best things I drank while I was on the resort. Now next up is Banyu. They are an Asian fusion restaurant. Banyu is really the only restaurant that we went to twice for dinner. We just enjoyed the vibe. It was laid back. You could sit and have a quieter conversation. And the food was really good. Like, we're Asian foodies ourselves, so we really enjoyed the experience. And then right next door to Banyu is the third restaurant in this area of the plaza. That's going to be Cascada, the Italian restaurant. This restaurant was one of our favorites as well. They had a really good Italian menu, everything you could ever want from Italian food, honestly. They have a lot of different wines on menu. The service was great. And honestly, this was the busiest restaurant on the whole resort while we were here. So I think that speaks to something that people are coming back night after night. And then as you move along, beside the buffet on the other side, you see the first of the 2 pools. Now, a lot of this is cleared off right now. They were getting ready on the day I filmed for that welcome back party. But there's usually a lot of chairs around the pool, and then on the other side you'll see the beach. But on the left you're going to see the buffet. Now the buffet is Saltaire. They are open for breakfast and lunch. The lunch menu changes, I think, daily. The breakfast buffet menu is going to be about the same every day. It's all open air outside on the patio. You can usually kind of choose your own seat if you get there early enough. And we loved the menu. I mean, honestly, I think I would have chosen to eat there every day if I could go back. So you have machines that freshly squeeze oranges for juice. You have an omelet station, all different types of fruits available. They had eggs, toast, bacon, muffins, and the coolest thing to me was the smoothie station at the end. So I would highly recommend that restaurant. Now, as you go out of the buffet and past the pool, on the left you're going to see Mammy Bay. This is the building that we stayed in. One of the rooms up top, those are considered ocean view rooms. So we loved it. If you want to see a tour of some of the rooms, we have some upcoming videos. You can check out a room from each of the buildings on the entire resort. That's the door that you would go to get to it. And then this bar next door is called the Lapidus Lounge. And as you go in, you can see that the vibe is just really chill. This is going to be one of these slower bars. And I want to give a big shout out to the bartenders who work here because they were the most engaging on the whole resort. We met another couple at a restaurant and ended up having drinks and talking to them and the bartender for a couple hours one night. So this is a cool place to check out as well. Now, as you move out of the Lapidus Lounge, you're going to walk just a little bit further towards this bar right here. And on the left, you're going to find the Greek restaurant. Now, the Greek restaurant is called Edessa. They do breakfast and dinner. And this was hands down my wife's favorite restaurant on the resort. For breakfast, I'd recommend the avocado toast. They also had good pancakes. And for dinner, they had this baked cheese as an appetizer, and I think my wife would say that this was the best thing that she ate on the entire trip. As you leave Edessa, you'll come around past the bar and you'll see the ocean and the patio for Edessa on the left. And we're going to take a turn and go down to the Aquatics Center. Now, the Aquatics Center down here on this end is for all the water sports that require a motor, motorized water sports. So you're going to have things like skiing, scuba diving, all kinds of things. Now here's a shot of us tubing. They'll pull 2 tubes behind a boat. You can tell them to go faster or slower. They'll do whatever you want. And as you can see, we kind of picked up the speed and it got a little crazy. You can also go out skiing with 1 ski or 2. We sat out on the beach together one day and watched them take out people skiing and tubing all afternoon. They'll sit there on the side with the boat and they have a list and you can just walk up and sign up whenever you want and they'll take you as soon as it's your turn. Now what you see now is our boat ride out to snorkeling. They have a boat that takes out snorkeling and scuba diving trips. It's all included in your stay except for scuba diving lessons. Since we were concierge level, we got a special concierge level snorkeling trip one day with just a few other couples. They took us out. Now, I didn't see a ton of fish, but I did see some cool tropical fish I'd never seen. I saw several sea urchins, I saw some squid, and it's really just, you'll see different things on different trips. So that was a really fun experience for us. I'd never done that before. So at the Aqua Center, they have a store on the left, and then as you look down the pier, you'll see that they have a place where you can get massages out by the ocean, which is pretty cool. It wasn't my vibe. I like to do that in more private, and so does my wife, but we did get a massage. I'll also show you the spa coming up. So if you come along the path, to the left you're going to see the start of the private beach for the resort. On the right you're going to see the first of the 2 pools, and they have kind of an infinity pool thing going along on the side. A lot of people we saw like to get the mats and get a couple drinks and hang out right there as they look out over the ocean. For the private beach, if you want to get some good chairs with an umbrella right by the water, I'd recommend you coming out between 6:30 and 8 sometime in that time frame and grabbing a couple with a towel. Some of the people with butlers will come out and they'll claim it for them. My wife is more adventurous and wants to do all the excursions. Personally, I could have hung out at this area of the beach all day, every day, just taking a swim every hour and getting drinks and hanging out. As you walk along the path and get closer to the bar, you're going to see where a lot of the nighttime activities and the shows take place on the resort. Now, they'll have a lot of people come out in the morning. There's a guy that plays saxophone sometimes in the evening and sometimes in the morning. There's a girl who plays a violin to a track every once in a while. And it sets a really cool mood for hanging out on the beach when you're waking up. And then as you go past the bar, you see a little booth where the DJ kicks things off in the afternoon and plays more lively music. There is an artisan section that they come and sell goods a couple days a week. And then one really cool thing that happened was the guy came out and cut up coconuts, cut a hole in the top, and then gave you a straw. I had never experienced that before. You can see my beautiful wife taking one, and then we walked along the beach as we sipped on those. And a lot of nights, this is where the shows take place, right on the beach by the bar. They had guys that play Motown, guys that play classics, guys that play oldies. It was really cool to come out and just sit with some other couples and watch that happen. Moving along, you have some outdoor lunch restaurants. So you have, first off, the bathroom on the right, and then on the left you're going to see Isola. Isola was, I think, my personal favorite. We had that 2 or 3 times during our stay. You walk over and sit under these huts right by the beach, and you grab some pizza, nachos from the grill. They'll bring you whatever drinks you want. The pizza was fantastic. I would recommend getting the Jamaican jerk chicken at least once while you're there. We did it 2 or 3 times. And then going around from Isola, you also have the grill. Now the grill is going to have things like more traditional lunch foods, nachos, hamburgers, hot dogs. They also make these Jamaican patties that if you've never tried one, it's like a kind of like an empanada, but it's just a little bit softer, fried with meat in the middle. It's really good. You have the second pool right here, and then on the left you have more of the private beach. And on the other side of the beach is where the non-motorized water sports are. My personal favorite was the Hobie Cat sailboats. They'll take you out and give you lessons, and then after a while you can take it out by yourself. This was the coolest excursion to me above all the others personally, and it's included. I loved getting to take my wife out and sail on this sailboat, just relax on the ocean. They also have kayaks, clear see-through kayaks and paddle boards and other things that you can take out on this end of the beach as well. You also have on this end of the beach another of the 4 wedding locations. So as you can see right up here along the rocks, and then on the other side of the rocks you can choose to have your wedding right there. Now on the other side of the rocks you're going to see a restaurant, volleyball, where you can play beach volleyball, and that's where they keep all the non-motorized equipment. You can also have a wedding here on this side if you want. It'll be a little bit more private where not as many people will see it. And there's also the Jerk Shack. You can come grab a bite of jerk chicken and then grab a table. They have this cool little boat-made table that I didn't realize until we had already eaten, or otherwise I would have sat there. And you can also picture having your wedding in this own little private area down here. Now moving on from this section of the beach, you're going to go along the path and come to the back of the second pool, which is across the path from the Tufa building. Now first we're going to show you the second pool. On the right you see this elevated area, which is where they will do sometimes receptions after the weddings take place. And then in this pool is where they have the swim-up bar. One of the bartenders there makes a shot that he calls the Hoochie Coochie. I've never had it anywhere else, so try that. I would also recommend the Dirty Banana while you're here. It became my favorite drink the entire time. You also have a lot of these cabanas. You can claim if you're early enough. A lot of times the butler rooms claim those, but they have mats and it's just a cool little place to hang out. Now as you come back along this path from the pool, on the left you're going to see both of the Tufa buildings. These are going to be some of the nicer rooms you can stay at in the resort. The top 3 stories are each going to have your own private infinity pool connected to the balcony. The bottom stories are all going to have swim-up rooms, so no matter where you stay at in these buildings, you get your own private swimming experience. If you'd like to see a tour of one of these rooms, we do have an upcoming video of one of these swim-up rooms. We also have videos from rooms from each of the other buildings, so I would encourage you to check those all out before you book your stay. The gym and the ocarina bar are also at the top of this building. So if you go to the back and you go up the stairs, you'll find the gym. So this is a view from the nighttime. We came up here and it's usually not too crowded, so you can get whatever machine you want. They have plenty of bikes, ellipticals, treadmills, and all different kinds of machine weights and free weights that you can check out. And down the hall is the ocarina bar. Now, I came up here in the morning, so you're not seeing a lot of activity right now. It is a little bit more lively at night, but it also is one of the slower bar scenes. So if you want a place to come up and just look at the ocean and have a drink in the evening, this is a perfect spot for you. And then downstairs on the other side of the Tufa building is the yoga pavilion. Now you can also have a wedding here. I hit pause right there because I didn't get good footage of that, I'm sorry. Straight ahead, as you see the door at the lower left side of this building, that is the nurse's office. So if you do get sick, you need any kind of medicine or any help while you're there, they do have a place on site where you can go to get checked out. And now coming up here on the left is the Red Lane Spa. We actually had a massage here on our first day, an hour-long massage. I would highly recommend doing it that way. It's a great way to kick off your trip by getting relaxed before you get sunburned and everything else like that. They have a lot of other different types of massages and things they can do here, so I would recommend going online and checking that out beforehand and booking whatever you want. You come in here and they have this nice tranquil garden with a lot of massage rooms around the side. They have a locker room where you can go get changed, get into your robe, and get ready. As you leave the Red Lane Spa and you go along this path, you're going to come to a few more of the food locations. I actually made this little trek several mornings in a row because we wanted special lattes from the Bloom Coffee House. That became one of our staples of the trip. The first place you're going to see on the left is Zuka. Zuka is their Latin fusion restaurant. It's only open for dinner. We came here the first night we arrived and had an amazing experience. The waitresses were so nice and very accommodating. A couple of the things I would recommend trying are the appetizers. The quesadilla and the tomato soup were just really good. I really enjoyed them. As you go across the patio from Zuka, you're going to come to Dunn's Rum Club. It is the first rum club for any of the Sandals resorts. It's a brand new concept for Dunn's River. They have several different types of rums from all over the world for you to try, and you can also get cocktails. Personally, I would recommend trying the Rum's Old Fashioned. At this specific rum club, it was just really good. They also have a finger foods menu if you're feeling a little bit hungry and you want to get something with your drink. They have that as well. And then next door is the pool hall. They have a couple pool tables that you can play as you drink your drinks. We did this probably about 3 out of the 7 nights. It was just a fun experience. They have several different cocktails that you can try. Right here you see one of the Bob Marley drinks that they had available. Moving on up the hill, you're going to come to the Bloom Coffee House. Now, just like Dunn's Rum Club, Bloom is the first of its kind at any of the Sandals resorts. That's why they're calling Sandals Dunn's River Sandals 2.0. As you go in, it's a great place for breakfast. They have a lot of pastries you can try. You can also come up any time of day and get different types of coffee. They have straight Jamaican coffee, different flavors. They have different types of lattes. You can also try some boozy drinks. My favorite was the Jamaican. I came up here about 3 or 4 times just for that specific drink. And going up the path from Bloom, you're going to see on the left the 4th of the possible wedding venues you can use. They use it for other events as well. So you have this gazebo type of pavilion up here, and you also have this wall where they have some water falling in the back that looks really serene. You can kind of picture where you might stage everybody. They do have some events up here. If you are concierge level, sometimes they will do a martini mixer. We came up here one night and tried that out, and that was a really fun event. Now, if you turn around and go back across the street, the last thing that we're going to show you are the Rondevals. The Rondevals are going to be the nicest place that you can stay on the resort. Some of them are a little different. Some of them have a sky roof above the bathtub. Some of them have a private rooftop that you can go up and hang out on. They all have private pools and private swim-up areas. They're really cool. If you'd like to see a video of that, we do have an upcoming Rondeval tour video, as well as room tours of all the other buildings coming up on our channel. Now that's the entire resort. We're so glad that you chose to watch with us. And again, at Coastal Compass Travel Company, we care that whenever you book a trip, it is a perfect, flawless experience. So if you're looking to book at one of the Sandals resorts, we partner with them, we know them, we would love to help you plan that experience. Go to cctravelcompany.com, click Contact Us, and we will reach out and help you plan that upcoming trip.